channel Trades. If you have not like and subscribe, don't forget to like and subscribe. So today's I want to kind of cover like how I day trade and how to do day trading for quick, couple hundreds, 500, 1000, depending upon your position sizing, right? Different people have different strategy. I'm gonna kind of basically go over what works for me, and also I found a lot of people using the same strategy and making like 500 to $1000 daily in a good market. Again, in any trading nothing is certain, and you will fail, right? It will fail, but basically as a trader your role or your job is to basically keep your losses small and your winner big. So how do you do that? I'm just gonna go over everything from the chart setups and what's my thinking process and how I execute them. So let's get started, right? So this is trading view. If you have not you don't have access to training, it's a free, you can get it started for free, and if you think it's really good you can of course get the premium version of it, right? And also if you are really kind of new to tradings and you don't have any technical analysis basics, or you don't understand EM and whatnot, don't forget to join the course below. I have a link so you can use. So let's get it started, right? So this is trading view, this is the SPY chart. I'm gonna cover like how I choose my stock, what to trade, and also a few things to consider while choosing, and I will go over the what are these both the lines, right, and how I think through it. So let's get started. The first thing is, how do I choose the stocks, right? So one thing is, you want to make sure whatever you are trading, since I'm trading option us mostly, you can start with the stocks if you are beginners or just to want to get your hands dirty. But so to get started, always, right, so always you want to make sure whatever you are trading, it's very liquid, meaning there's a lot of stock traded. You don't want to trade something which you buy it but it's really hard to sell it. So some of the examples are Tesla, Apple, all these big name, SPY, QQQ, these are very liquid, right? So in the morning you want to see what's the overall market sentiment, right? So first thing first, market sentiment. If you look at today, you could see that SPY is down, QQ is down, I think Dow was down too, so pretty much, right? So I'm mostly trading tech stocks, so I look at SPY and QQQ, then Dow Jones. So basically everything was down, the sentiment was bad, which has been a few, so I was really inclined to the downside, meaning puts, right? So if the market is really strong and everything, I'll definitely think about call, but today was, you got to just look at the market sentiment. Also if you look at we kind of gapped down, you could see that yesterday, I mean the Friday we closed at 65, today basically we open up down and just went downhill, right? So that's the first thing. So I was basically inclined it's going to be a put kind of days, but again, uh, I'm not just gonna dive into put cause it's going down, it could go up or could anything, right? All you need to look into the chart and your analysis, right? So first thing first, basically look at the what's the sentiment, what's the overall sentiment. So I, in my mind, I made up I'm gonna go for a puts, right, not call. Sometimes it doesn't work, you'll see bounce, then you can see, right? So you just need to respect your stop loss. But today it was kind of looking down at least before I entered, right? Now what I really do is, if it's going down, I'm gonna make a basically trend line. What was the lowest point in pre-market, right? Basically today it was a 262 and something, right? So I usually, what I do is down, I want to see it go below that. So basically that's a support, right? Intraday I'm kind of looking into, this is 1 minute chart, but you could do anything, but basically I'm looking if it go below this, so basically there's a strong bias towards the put, it's going down. It's usually, if I'm looking for call side, I'm gonna look into the pre-market high, which was probably way over. Once it crosses, then I will be more inclined, right? But doesn't mean that if it goes down I'll just buy puts and what. There's few things, right? I always look at the two, just for the bias. I'm gonna, so mostly for day trading I'm gonna look into the 1 minute, but also I'm gonna look into the 5 minutes to make sure, because 1 minute there's some noise and it just can go all over. But basically I want to see, unless it changes the trend in 5 minutes, I'm into the trade, right? So now, so as you know how I choose my stocks and what are the labels I have set it up, right? Today it was pretty good, pretty, like, I don't even need to draw, I was just kind of looking into it. 62.40, so that's what my, so I think I enter around right around this candle, 62 30 35, somewhere around there, just enter in the trade, right? So I was biased, kind of, it was going down, right? Going down. Now what are these two lines? So these two lines are EMA, 8 days and 20 days EMA. You could just basically have two indicator, 8 and 21, or I just made custom, just it was kind of easier for me, I use all the time, so I just added 8 and 21 days, right? So basically this is 8 days, this is 21, right? So you could see that, right? You have 8 days and 21, 8 days and 21, right? So basically, if you are in a bull market, you will have your stock like basically bull, I mean, at least the sentiment is bull. You will have the stock, you want to see stock price above at the top, then you want to see this blue one, then you want to see green, right here, for example, you see that's kind of in the short term, very short term, it's a bullish, right? You want to go long. But if it's this not blue, this green, right? Light is green, this green is at the top, purple is down, and the stock price is down, that's basically a bearish, right? The bias is bearish right now. Now, as I said, I enter right here. Now what I want to do, I basically want to do is like, as long as the stock is just basically these two lines are above the stock price, I'm in the trade, I'm in the trade. And now why I look at the 5 minutes is basically why I look at the 5 minutes is, look at this, it crossed this, it just basically crossed a little bit right here. That's when I look into the 5 minutes. Is it also telling me the same thing in 5 minutes? If it's telling me the 5 minutes it's crossing, I'm out, right? It's a nice I think I made almost 200, like I did not even had a huge positions, I had a 10 contract. I got in around one something and sold around three something. So basically like almost 3x, and my risk was basically, when I'm kind of entering like this, initially my risk will be basically, as long as it's go up, back up, I'm out, right? So if it this fail breakout, right, it broke out in the downside, so basically when I enter, right, again, sometimes you cannot really enter, like it's messy too, right? So you're gonna, and the other things is, you want to make sure this slope really downward or upward, that's when you really make, sometimes it just open like there's no direction like this, I don't want to enter in this kind of price actions. Usually you will see, if you have a really good bearish or bullish bias, I usually don't like this kind of chops, I like kind of straight down or straight up, that's when you make, otherwise your theta is just going, killing your option premium, just go down, right? And the other thing is, when I enter, I always have a plan, right? Stop, basically the option, the price are really volatile, especially if you are doing day. So when I enter right here, I usually, my stop is pretty close right here, just 30-40 cents, right? So I mean, in options it could be a 20 whatever percentage, that's what I look into it. But basically, if it goes above this candle, I usually look at the other candles and down, but it's everything, because if it goes above that, it basically means it's crossing both, I'm just out right there, right? But if it's acting in my favor, I will kind of give it enough room, right? So now it just, so my first initial stop, as long as I enter, is basically this candle right here, right? So I enter around 30 something, so mine is basically 60 70, so 40, yeah, about 40 cents, 30 40 cents risk, right? So it could be basically, depending on theta, could be one contract could be 20-30 bucks, right? So if I'm doing that out, also I will basically, my plan is to get into, let's say, like $2,000 positions. So what I usually do is like, hey, I'll get with maybe 700 800, and if it's working in my favor, I will make it a full position. But if it's just not working what I expected, I'm not gonna average down, right? So I expected something, it's not working, so I'm like, okay, I'm done with it, right? So you will lose, it's not gonna work every day, but basically when it works, you make a good money. When you basically does not work, you don't lose a lot of money. That's the name of the game. Now, now it's going. I see this, right? So what I do is I go to 5 minutes, right? That's when I go to 5 minutes. I go to 5 minutes, and you can see that 5 minutes. Okay, still it's still doing good, right? It's just a small pop, but then we see the big candle down here, right? So I'm kind of looking at the 5 minutes. I'm kind of looking at the 1 minute too. And now what I see is, you can see that, right? I'm always looking at the 5 minutes and whatnot as long as I'm in trade. But if you see right around, I think I got around like 11 when I saw that, right? So kind of I felt like the bearish momentum is losing, and it's the small kind of indecision candle follow at a big bullish candle, right? Then another bullish candle, kind of small, I would say indecision too, but kind of it's going also. I in the candle, if you look at, it's making higher lows, right? This one a little bit high, this one a little bit high, this one there, and it just kind of, so I was like, okay, I'm already like almost at 3x what I, so I was basically out somewhere around here, and you could see that we went really here. Then basically I did not even trade it, so that was good, right? That's done for the day. Again, this is not gonna work every day. Sometimes we'll have a choppy day. I mean, I don't know if I could sometimes yeah, I think this was, I did call, uh, this was today, right? Yeah, basically you don't want this kind, right? Like here it's kind of all over. You want to see something like this, kind of going in a straight, or even this, right? So not gonna work. So uh, yeah, here, especially here, right? So it opened up then down, but basically it's like, I think I got here a breakout on the upside, it kind of breaking out the intraday high. So there's a lot of there was a, I think I even made a TikTok video on it, right? So basically that's how I do it, right? Again, everybody have different style, but I think most people's what they do is so this basically they say, you know, they got into the trade, right? So what they do is, let's say, somebody got into the call, right? So somebody got into the call, but what happened is a lot of people, it's going down, it's like, oh no, it cannot go down, it has been going down for 5 days and whatnot, right? Then it goes down, 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 and they're absolutely like, they're 90% down. That's when they kind of think like, oh shit, I'm almost 90, maybe I should sell it, maybe I'll get 10%. Then it just reverses, right? The thing is like, nobody's right all the time, right? You are wrong. Basically, you gotta have a process, trust your process, and follow through, right? If you do that, you will be a successful. And the thing is like, it's a lot of people's make it really easy. It's not that easy, and a lot of people make it, it's really really hard. It's not that hard. You just need to find your process. And the other thing is, people have seen use different 7 days, 20 days. I mean, I just use 1821. It just works for me. Yeah, I don't like, there are few people who uses 821 too. So I mean, you can play around with, maybe if it's 7 and 20 works for a particular stock, that's great. Just whatever works for you, right? There's no secret formula like this will work and you should stick with this. Maybe just go back a few days, see what you should be doing. The other things a lot of people don't do is, sometimes trade fails, right? I lost the money, but people just kind of sad and whatnot, they forget, right? But the thing is like, if it's whether it's a good trade or bad trade, always kind of go back to that day, look into the trade and try to analyze it, right? Like, what did you do right, what did you wrong? Maybe adjust your EMA and see, right, where what does make it sense to you, right? It's really about you. So if that works, that's really awesome. Yeah, that's it today. I just wanted to cover market is kind of crap right now. Wow, really see these are the stocks I mostly watch and really see reds. Like I don't see, I mean, nothing gray, but I was able to scalp like about, I don't know, I forget, oh, it's a dollar amount, but almost to 300% gain. So that was pretty quick on the spy. But yeah, if you have any question, comment, drop a comment below. Other than that, have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you and have a great day. Thanks.